Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA.
Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Welcome to the Alphasphere. Get money division, the place where you transform into a man on a mission. Learning to not feel guilty about selfish decisions. You and your best self would be on a head-on collision. You will not be stopped by obstacles that's dropped by those who wanna see you fall, cause more wanna see you ball. You will be so focused, you won't get no peace at all, till you go from mud feet to walking on streets of gold. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Dr. BOA, the utmost alpha surgeon, helping you to become your most alpha version. Old and new you, this is where they will be merging. Get money today, so later you'll be spurging. Tell them haters you do not care what they say about you. Just mentally vow to make them live without you. When your vision sprouts to living it from chasing it. When they say your name, just make sure they put some bass on it. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Manosphere in this bitch, and you know we getting lit. Getting money, getting fit, till we lean this fucking rich. We ain't taking no shit, we ain't chasing no chick. If she wanna like this lit, better get in where she fit. If the chick don't fit, then that hoe gotta go. We are number 8 to 1, so I got a lot of more. They can do what they want, they can say what they say, but they can't stop the rain. Manosphere's here to stay. Just started this year, rockin' with Ramilla Mir, one of the realest in the game, and this hustle off the chain. Yeah, we have our differences, but we all have those. But we have more things in common than the things that we oppose. Put the dough before the hoes, put yourself before the bros. Cop some real estate and gold, fuck the cars and the clothes. Shout out to MTR, that boy gon' be a star. If you think you need to see the piece he did with Shahrazad Ali, it was major, and the homie truly played his part. For me, shit like that is hard. I'm too motherfucking scarred, but I'll never be this bar. For this alpha law, I'm the truth, and my little bro Steph is cold, doing it for the youth. If you wanna stay the same, then just make one more excuse. I remember when he started, now your homie got the juice. Told him let the haters hate, that's a sign of your success. Finally gave y'all what y'all want, BOA, AMS. It was a long time coming, it was epic in a way. Top 2 alpha motherfuckers in the whole fucking space. Kicking ass, taking names since we showed up on the scene. 2 Alabama OGs getting money, riding Manosphere in this bitch, and you know we getting lit. Getting money, getting fit, till we lean this fucking rich. We ain't taking no shit, we ain't chasing no chick. If she wanna like this lit, better get in where she fit. If the chick don't fit, then that hoe gotta go. We are number 8 to 1, so I got a lot of more. They can do what they want, they can say what they say, but they can't stop the rain. Manosphere's here to stay. Peace to ocean DJ Duke Jackson. The homie be about action. It's obvious that helping others brings him satisfaction. In the manosphere, all the good creators know, if you're small but you're good, he'll still bring you on his show. To the homie Kwame Brown, hope you keep doing your thing. You done locked in on your niche and just ran off with the game. Stay the same, never change. Famous haters come with fame. They don't hate you, they just flame, cause you made your own name. In my world, it's just one of me and some OGs. As far as this manosphere, that's Black Ram 313. He's the first one that I heard even say similar words to the ones by which I live, and for that I gotta give flowers while the homie's still here. Never been MGTOW, never been red pill. I just keep it pimpin' with these hoes, still shopping still. If you hatin', then you fake. Manosphere gon' keep it real, and that's the deal. Bitch want me to come through. She said she think of me when she with you. She really want a man to treat her right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Your bitch want me to come through. She suffering from the beta nigga blues. She really want a man to beat it right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Alphas don't trust hoes. They just think they bitch should be trusted. Alphas take control. They just let they bitches lead. I'm just saying I'm the motherfucking man, cause my bitch ain't got no plans, and my wishes a command. And everything that she do is for the team. Seeing daddy win the ring is a motherfucking dream, and she knows everything I want, everything I need, it's a guarantee. Everything I do, everything I say, it's my way or no way, and no way is okay, you know. Your bitch want me to come through. She said she think of me when she with you. She really want a man to treat her right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Your bitch want me to come through. She suffering from the beta nigga blues. She really want a man to beat it right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. I don't trust these hoes. Bitches don't know honesty. I stay in control. Never relinquish the lead. I'm just saying you are not the fucking man if your bitch got her own plans and your wish ain't her command. And everything that she do ain't for the team. Seeing you in the ring ain't her motherfucking dream. She should know everything you want, everything you need, it's a guarantee. Everything you do, everything you say, it's your way or no way, and no way is okay, you know. Your bitch want me to come through. She said she think of me when she with you. She really want a man to treat her right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Your bitch want me to come through. She suffering from the beta nigga blues. She really want a man to beat it right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight.
Salute, salute. What's good, homies? What's good? It's your man, Dr. BOA. We up in the joint. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, man, go ahead, throw a one in the chat for me. Go ahead, throw a one in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, man. Sell out to the GLG. Bless up to the Alphasphere, man. Salute, salute. All right. So we sounding good, man. Listen, we're going to get into some truth serum tonight. So I'm going to be honest with you. You could have gone anywhere to get the lies, but only you came here to get the truth. I know you did. Welcome to the Alphasphere.
Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA.
All right, so what's good, homies? What's good? What's good? All right, here's the real deal, man. There are some things I never talk about that guys always ask me about. And one of those things is how to get women, how to date women, how to get women to like you, how to do any of that. But you see, there's a reason I don't discuss that stuff. And tonight we're going to discuss a line of topics that are going to let you know why it is that I personally don't talk about that stuff. See, the reality of the scenario is this. If you got to chase women, it's because you ain't spent a whole lot of time chasing nothing else. This is what you got to understand. If you spend your time chasing money, you're going to meet the women that attracts. If you spend your time chasing physical fitness, you're going to meet the women who that attracts. If you spend your time elevating yourself, chasing spiritual astuteness, then you're going to attract the women who are drawn to that. And here's the thing. You get all three of those aspects of life together and you attract the women who like all of those things. See, this is not about having to talk your way into a woman's underwear. This is about being in a situation in life where a woman sees you and there is something about you that makes her want to invite you into her underwear. So, to the cat who came in and told me, man, you don't give up no game no more. Man, I ain't never gave up game. If you stop looking at the titles and click on the videos, you'll see I'm giving you the information you need. If you want game, go somewhere else. I ain't never gave up game. I ain't never used game. Am I saying game don't work? Nope, but I ain't never had to use it. Why? Because I have consistently focused on doing the things that I need to do to make myself a better version of myself. And here's the thing that happens. You start to value yourself when you elevate yourself in certain areas, to the point where you wake up one day and you realize I'm too valuable to chase any woman. And let me get to an elephant in the room. This cold approach shit. Well, you got a cold approach to build confidence. Cold approach build confidence if you ain't got your mind, body, and money right. Now, if you ain't got your body right and your mind right, you got your money right. Yeah, you still may not be able to have the confidence you need in any situation. If you got one of those right, yeah, of course, you may fall off. But if you got all three of those right, man, you don't need no broad to give you no confidence. You get the confidence from being desired by women just because of who you are. So this whole cold approach builds confidence. If you feel like that, then your ass too broke to be worrying about approaching women anyway. A broke man ain't got no business approaching no women. You got to work too hard to get that thing that they got that ain't worth the hard work. You got to talk too much to get that thing that ain't worth all the words you got to use. You got to go along to get along and play along with a game. But if you focus as a young man, if you focus on building yourself up into every way you need to, you do not have to cold approach women. You just don't. You don't. The only thing you can't change is your face. You could, but as men, we tend to not do that. We leave that for the women folk. The only thing you can't change about yourself is your face. The face you got is the face you're gonna have. But everything else you can improve. And as you improve those things, you care less about your face because you have built yourself in so many other ways. So I tell younger men, the younger you are when you establish self-discipline, the higher you will rise on your journey to wherever you need to be in life. The younger you are when you establish, see, it's easy to say, okay, well, yeah, I can, I ain't out here chasing these women. When you're 35, 40 years old, hopefully you've done enough chasing. But every man will tell you if he was chasing women when he was in his 20s, the one thing he would change was chasing women. Here's the thing. You don't need to deal with 1,000 women to understand women. That's if you're broke. and you ain't got your mind right, your body right, your spirit right, your money right. If you got everything right, there's only one way women are going to deal with you. They're going to deal with you like you are done. That's just what they're going to do. Any situation you can point to me and show me where a man had money and he still got a raw deal, is because he didn't have his mind right, body right, money right, and spirit right. So you got to have your mind right. You can have the money and the physique, but if your mind ain't right, then you still ain't going to get there. How do you get your mind right? By focusing on what it takes to become the best version of yourself. Applauding yourself for every step you make forward in life. Applauding yourself for every obstacle you've had to overcome. You got to build so much confidence in yourself that when you see a woman, you just generally have to feel like, and genuinely have to feel like, you are stepping down off your level of life to go cold approach a woman. You got to feel that way. So whenever you hear somebody talking about that, man, you got to approach women to build confidence. Man, that's utter bullshit. Let me tell you something. Find me the man who approached a lot of women when he ain't have no money, and see that same man when he got money. I bet he don't approach women. You know why? Because when you build yourself up, you got your mind right, your body right, your spirit right, man. You got your money right. You do not have to approach women. When you come into a room, there's an aura about you. There's just a certain aura about you when you come into a room. Oh, you can't fix your height either. But as men, we ain't worried about height. The average height of a man is 5'9". So we ain't. Here's another thing that happens. When you focus on building yourself in the best version of yourself, you stop giving a damn what women call as their entry markers. I want a man that's this. I want a man. Who cares? Any woman who has to determine what kind of man she wants, you know what that means? That means she's been with too many men already anyway. When you become the best version of yourself, you don't care what a woman prefers as her preferred type of man. You don't care. Do not give your strength to women. How do you give your physical strength to women? Always jumping them down on them, always trying to be intimate with them. How do you give your mental strength to women? Letting what she wants in life determine what you think you're worth in life. Never let a woman determine your value. And the only way you do that is if the only value you have is what woman you could get. Find me the man who has built himself from the ground up and become a financial success, who still views getting a woman as the value that he has. Even the man who makes money so he can get the woman, he don't value himself more because he can get the woman. He simply gets the money because he knows that'll get him the woman. Most time, though, dude don't even stay with the woman. Focus on financial freedom. Now, let me tell you something about financial freedom. Guys always say, you can make money, but that still ain't going to guarantee you the woman. You're right. Getting money will not guarantee you the woman. Getting money will not guarantee you the woman. Getting money will not guarantee you the woman. You can't be guaranteed you're going to get the woman just because you make some money. But let me tell you what you will be guaranteed. It will afford you a life so valuable that the girl won't even have the same value like she does when you broke. Let me tell y'all something about financial freedom, man. A lot of the things that you think you need women to compensate for in your life, you get your money right, and you don't feel the same. Like, you could be focused on the money, thinking, man, I'm finna get the money, man, boy, wait till I get this money. Then by the time you get the money, you be like, man, you half the bras you thought you would have wanted, man, you ain't even studying them now. You know why? Because you respect yourself more and value yourself more when you get on that grind. When you're building yourself up, when you're doing without those things, because you know you got to get over there. When you're doing without that party scene, that club scene, because you know you got to get up the next morning. When you're doing whatever you got to do to get to where you need to get, there's a level of respect and value that you develop for yourself. And even when it comes to, yes, guys say, well, she just wants you for the money. Only a beta male who ain't never had any money worth talking about in his life has a problem with a woman valuing you for money. It's always been that way. The men with the money have always got the woman. So let me tell you what happens. Guys are lazy. Don't be one of those lazy guys who don't want to become the best version of yourself and then want to hate on the things that women are like, well, she just want those guys because they got the money. Well, she just want that guy because of this. Don't become one of those guys. All you can do in this world is become your best version. In every facet of life, whether it come to women, whether it come to business, all you can do is be the best you can be. Some of us can get lean, but we ain't gonna never get real big. Some of us get real big, but we ain't gonna never be 8% body fat. We'll be 12% body fat, but we'll look like a beast. Then there are those of us who be absolutely shredded, but we ain't gonna never weigh anything more than 180, 185 pounds, soaking wet. But that's your best. See, we live in a world where if you ain't focusing on becoming your best, you're focusing on what everybody else got and what everybody else doing. And the quickest way to fall off the path to becoming your best self is to focus on what everybody else got and what everybody else doing. It makes no sense to do that. So it's better to have a woman want you because you got money than for a woman to not want you at all while you chase and try to increase her attraction and interest. The dumbest shit in the world is trying to increase a woman's interest in you. All those women over there, you trying to increase this woman's interest in you. Look, but not by improving yourself with tactics and game. It ain't nobody on the planet can show me nobody who got their mind right, body right, and money right that need game. When you got your mind right, body right, money right, it's only one way a woman gonna deal with you, and that's position of servitude. You're not gonna accept nothing else. You ain't gonna deal with a woman who ain't gonna do what you tell her to do. You ain't gonna deal with a woman who ain't gonna come when you tell her to come. You ain't gonna deal with a woman who ain't gonna leave when you tell her to leave. You ain't gonna deal with a woman who ain't gonna freak when you tell her to freak. You ain't gonna deal with a woman who ain't gonna cook when you tell her to cook. You ain't gonna deal with a woman who ain't gonna do the things you want her to do. You just ain't. You are too valuable at that point. You are too valuable at that point to acquiesce to the demands of a woman. Yes, you may start to be a little pompous and a little cocky, but you have the right to when you take the time and have the discipline that it takes to become the best version of yourself in all of these areas. You have the right to be a tad bit pompous. You have the right to look at yourself and say, okay, I'm above those guys who didn't put in the work. And at that point, you have the right to say, I am above every single woman I come into contact with. So a woman when I say my way or my way, that only works for a man who has himself together. It's a blessing to have yourself together. It really is a blessing because there are so many things that come along with that. There are so many things that come along with that. See, as I stated, cold approach only builds your confidence if you don't get your mind, body, and money right, and therefore have no masculine power. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. If you ain't got your mind right, body right, money right, the fewer of those things you have right, your spirit, of course, the fewer of those four things you have right, the less masculine power you have. You could do this all day and talk about I'm masculine, I got this power and all that. I'm talking about how do you actualize it in your real life? How do you activate the power in your life? Building yourself into the best version of yourself creates masculine power. Masculine power is the key to a man's happiness. It's the key to your happiness. Everything that you need to happen in your life happens when you get your mind right, body right, spirit right, and money right. So if you're gonna focus on something, see, here's the thing: you can piddle your way through, get your money right, not worry about your body, not worry about your mind, not worry about your spirit, and then eventually you're gonna have to get all of those things together anyway. I promise you, if you want to reach the ultimate goal of masculine satisfaction and joy in life, you're gonna have to focus on becoming the best version of yourself in those four areas. You're gonna have to. Otherwise, you're going to be playing a game and you're never going to win. You're never going to get to the finish line. You're going to run this race your entire life and never even see the ribbon at the end of the finish line. Why? Because if you don't build yourself into the most alpha version of yourself, you will not have the best overall experience you can have in life. And what happens after years and years of getting a raw deal of not getting the best experience? You give up. You give up on trying. You give up on the race. You run a race for 15 years and you see other people winning a race in 5. You stop running a race in 15, but you're not even running the race. You walk in the race. You're running backwards. And you don't even understand it because you don't understand the way the world works. Being in a position of power is about becoming the best, at the absolute best version of yourself. That's just what it is. Let's say the absolutely filthy rich man who's traveling with a group of armed guards who are very physically imposing. Here's a man with masculine financial power surrounded by men with masculine physical power. So as they are on his payroll and they are his team, by proxy, their power is his. But what if that man put himself in that powerful position where he felt like maybe he could just move with one guy, or in most times move by himself? He starts to have more power than he had when he just had the money and those guys had the physical power. Another thing, accepting women's demands in relationships and demands in dating and demands in overall interaction, that only happens when you haven't built a life a woman desires enough to bow down to gain access to. If a woman meets you and you have put yourself in a position where she has to bow down in order to just even have access to you, that's a totally different thing. That's why the women who chase careers all the time, that's why men who are successful don't really deal with those women. Those women are in a precarious position of being able to take care of themselves. But deep down inside, as a woman, wanting a man to take care of them. But now that they have built themselves to where they can take care of themselves, they lack the femininity that it takes for a man to even desire to take care of them. So now they're in between a rock and a hard place. So that's what you have to build yourself into a version of yourself. And listen, I'm not saying do these things to get the woman. I'm saying do these things so you don't even have any concern about jumping through hoops to get the woman. It makes no sense to jump through hoops to get the woman. It's crazy. Why would any man do such a thing? Why would you do that? Why would I do that? Why would any of us do that? This is the way the world has always worked. That's why you only hear broke dudes speaking negatively on a woman desiring a man who has financial status. Any man who has financial status understands that women desire a man. It's not even that they say, "Ooh, I'm gonna get him." No, it's a natural inclination. It is their nature to be drawn to a man who is financially situated. It's not even something they think about. It's embedded so deep in their psyche that they don't even think about why it's happening. But guys want you to think it's negative. Now, if you build yourself to the best version of yourself, you get your mind right, your body right, your spirit right, and all of that, you don't have to worry about being taken advantage of. You're not gonna be a simp just because a woman wants you because you got money. That don't mean that she gonna just hit your pockets up. That's not what that means. And so we got to stop acting like these things mean that. Got a couple super chats here, man. Let me knock them out right quick. J2 Cool, man. I see you, man. Welcome back to the Green Label Gang, man. Brown Hornet 1975, my brother. What Mod Squad representative. Appreciate you, man. Joker Nutty Nate, Doc BOA. Appreciate the dime, man. Appreciate it. Sweet Lou, appreciate the dime. Peace, Dr. BOA. Great topic. How I can purchase Afro music. I think D Fleming just left the link in there for you, man. Salute. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's get back into this thing, man. Try not to have y'all in here too long, man. So here's what you got to understand. Women have always desired men who are financially situated. It's up to you to build yourself to the type of person where you're not going to be to the type of man where you're not going to be taken advantage of just because a woman like you for money. I ain't saying go do this. We ain't talking about that. We talking about building the life that you want. This is just a result of that life. I'm telling you the results of building yourself into the best version of yourself in all of these areas. There's a result that you're going to get as a man if you build yourself into the best version of yourself in all of these areas. There's a result you get from that. And then you start to understand. See, when you don't have validation needs for getting a woman, oh, I need to get that woman so I can feel like a man. Oh, I need to get that pretty woman over there so I can feel like I am somebody. I need to get that. You have to understand that you are not competing with other men to get women. You are competing with other men for position, for the position that you want in life. There's only so many positions, but there's one that's meant for you. And if you put in all the work you got to put in, nobody's going to get it. But if you slack up, that position will go to someone else. So you don't have time to believe that you're competing with men for women. You're not. Because here's the thing. If you work a job, you got 50,000, you're not competing with professional athletes for those women. So you shouldn't even be looking at those women or thinking about them. You're competing with the other men who got a $50,000 a year job. You get in the six figures, that's the bracket you're competing in. You're competing at the bracket. The brackets you compete in is your bracket for life. Not just women, your bracket for everything. When you build yourself into the best version of yourself, you come to one realization. And that realization is that a woman's only value is her helpmeet ability. Her only value is her helpmeet ability. So how do you get a woman's only value from her? Because here's the thing, unless you meet a woman who is a virgin, then the physical intimacy has no value. It stops having value if you're not the first. If you're not the first, then it just is what it is. Now, yeah, 0 is a number. Every number is higher than that. But let me not act like 1 ain't better than 100. 1 is better than 100. They both ain't virgin, but 1 is definitely better than 100. So if a woman's value is her helpmeet ability, how are you going to get that when you ain't got nothing for her to invest herself into? A woman is just an investor into your life. That's what a helpmeet is. She's an investor into, but what do you have for her to invest into? You can't be in a position where all you got for a woman to invest into is your bills. Then you need a woman who got a job so she can bring in a check and help you pay the bills. Yes, that may be your situation right now, but that does not have to be your situation. Every man in here has a gift or a talent that he can monetize. Every man has something he can monetize that he may not be monetizing right now. Or you may be monetizing it as a side hustle. You may be monetizing on weekends when you can. But there's always something you can do to increase your reach, to increase your financial footprint. There's always something. So if a woman's only value is truly her helpmeet ability, then building your finances gives her something to invest herself in. You got to focus on building your finances to even have a positive result with women. I'm talking about with women that are worthy. Now, if you ain't got no money and you dealing with hood chicks who ain't got nothing either, that ain't nothing to talk about. I'm talking about a woman who has the help meet capacity and the help meet ability. You got to have something for her to help you meet. And I'm telling you, if you focus on getting your money right, focus on build your money, focus on putting yourself in the best position spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, all of those things, man. Focus on being the best version of yourself in every area. That makes you the strongest man you can be. And if you're the strongest man you can be, you're not going to deal with nobody treating you like you're weak. Every man who deals with somebody treating him like he's weak, it's because he believes he's weak in that area. If you shy away from confrontation, it's because physically you believe you're weak. I'm not saying you go out and pick a fight or, you don't know how to try to peacefully diffuse something before it turns into something. Yes, you do that. That's what a strong mind, strong spiritual man does. You try to diffuse the situation before it becomes a physical altercation. But if it becomes a physical altercation, you tend to shy away from those and you'll go from trying to talk it peacefully to trying to beg your way out of it because you don't think you can measure up physically. That's a part of being the best version of yourself. See, you ain't got time to be focused on women if you ain't got no money. You ain't got time to be focused on women if you got a big belly. You ain't got time to be focused on women if you have things stressing you out in life. You ain't got time to be focusing on women if you're not spiritually astute enough to even self-govern. The physically weakest time in your life is right after you're done being intimate with a woman. When you release, that's the weakest point of your life. Sleep, or when you sleep, you're almost dead, but when you're alive, that's the weakest point of your life. And you got men out here doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Every day if they could. And let me tell y'all another thing. Stop bringing up these examples of these uber wealthy men to make a point. Jeff Bezos had $200 billion. He couldn't keep a woman. Jeff Bezos also didn't work on the rest of himself. If Jeff Bezos had all that money and an impressive physique, because obviously mine right and all that, but here's the thing about Jeff Bezos, he left the woman. He divorced the woman. So when you call Jeff Bezos, he just didn't want the woman no more. He had another woman he wanted. He told that woman, hey, here you go. Take this money and move on. So we can't talk about him in either way, positive or negative. We talk about Bill Gates. He looked like he ain't never worked out day in his life. Literally, looked like he ain't never worked out day in his life. I'm talking about ran, jogged, did no step ups, lift no weights, do no push up, do no pull up, nothing a day in his life. So we're not comparing ourselves to men who are extremely successful in one area, but are extremely inefficient in others. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being in a position where you are just the best you can be, not by comparison to other people, where you have become the best, when you have hit your ceiling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Because until you hit your ceiling, you don't know if that's your ceiling or not. You know how many men have not hit their ceiling in any facet of life? No facet of life. Men in their 30s, 40s, 50s have not hit the ceiling. Because to get to a comfort spot, a comfort zone, and they stay there. Think about this. No man should be at 50 where he was at 30. Or even 40 where he was at 30. No man should be at 30 where he was at 20. You see what I'm saying? If your mindset don't change, that's because your actions didn't change. You know what I'm saying? If your actions don't change, then your mindsets don't change. And vice versa. If your mindsets don't change, your actions don't change. Those two things go hand in hand. So broke dudes cannot complain about rich man issues. Can't complain about that. You can't complain about child support and then use Russell Simmons as an example. You just can't. You got to understand, man. If you, like the homie just said, if you want to stay the same, then just make one more excuse. Shout out to my little bro, Steph is cold. You either get right or stay the same. Those are your two options. And the other options, either get right or stay the same. Now, I'll say this to y'all. At the same time, you got to remember that in this particular society, when you become the best version of yourself, the majority of these women in this society are beneath you, beneath your level. When you rise to the ultimate level of where you're supposed to be as a man, where you want to be as a man, then the majority of the women you come into contact with are beneath your level. So we're going to do a rehash, man. Somebody requested that I go back over these again, man. We're going to talk about the 10 women who are beneath your level. Let's get to it. First of all, the social media tycoon who doesn't have any business except her body. She's beneath you. She's an attention seeker. A woman who seeks attention cannot be a helpmeet. So any woman who is on social media, any woman who has one single picture of her physique or of her body on social media, I don't care if she in fitness or whatever. Hey man, shout out to all the fitness chicks. You, as a man who is the best version of himself, you don't have to settle for a fitness chick who has to show her body online every day. You just don't have to settle for that. You see what I mean? When you put yourself in the best position and become the most out version of yourself, you can eliminate any woman you want to from contention for a position in your life. You can eliminate all of them. You can eliminate every woman in America and go to another country. You can eliminate every woman in that country and go to another country. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm talking about. Putting yourself. So when you hear all this talk about the passport bros and all that, man, you got to understand those men have put themselves in a position to be able to move around the world. Why haven't you put yourself in a position to be able to move around the world? The only men who complain about it is men who haven't put themselves in a position to move around the world. Because if you have, there's nothing to complain about. As men, we got to stop complaining about men putting themselves in a better position where they feel like they get a better interaction with women. That's what money is for. Money is to put money is that's one of the primary benefits, or at least one of the benefits of being financially successful, being financially secure. You can move how you want to move. You could go where you want to go, man. Me too, Flam. That profanity, man, ain't with that. And so when I do these videos for y'all, man, I don't do these videos, man, to just poke fun at people or to point people out or anything. I do these videos to reiterate everything that I always tell you, man. So if you could get past the title and get past the topic and click on the video and stop getting in your feelings because you don't like the title or the topic, BOA talking about these people, right? Click the video and listen. And you'll see that everything is an example of the things I always talk about. These examples are right before us every day. Another woman who is beneath your level, when you build yourself to the best version of yourself, get your mind, body, spirit, and money right. If all her friends or exhibit or support self-disrespectful behavior, acting a fool in public, twerking in public, doing crazy stuff, drawing negative attention to themselves, fighting in public, using profanity in public, talking loud in public, acting all wild in public, dressing scantily clad in public. If all of her friends do that, then even if she doesn't do that, she hasn't elevated to a level where she sees that as something she needs to distance herself from. She's still so needy for other people's attention, for other people's engagement, that she'll settle for being with people who don't even live a life that she agrees with. Can you imagine being so needy for interaction, being so needy for friends, that you accept people who live a life that's the opposite of what you think is right? You can't make nobody change their life, but you could change who you deal with in your own life. So if all of her friends exhibit or support self-disrespectful behavior and they're still her friends, she may not do the behavior, but she still supports it. So if they exhibit it and she's their friend, she supports it. If they support it and they're her friends, she supports it. And you know good and well, if she exhibits it, she's off the market. She's out. There's no chance. Because that comes back and reflects on you. Because then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, how much do I love myself? How needy am I for attention and affection of a woman if I'm going to deal with a woman who supports this? And listen, these aren't even things you have to think about. When you put yourself in a certain position, these things come naturally. The third woman that's beneath your level, when you become the best version of yourself, the most alpha version of yourself, she was someone's adulterous wife, and you were her beta male, simp mangina side dude. Now we're gonna put an asterisk by this one, because if this the life you're living, you're not even the most alpha version of yourself. So what I'm trying to catch is the men who are living this way, and this one situation is impeding their process to become the most alpha version of yourself. Because you're not going to get the blessings that you need to get the blessings that you need, the blessings you want, the blessings you deserve if you weren't doing this. As long as you're doing it, you got to cut it off. And you can never be with that woman. If she was an adulterous wife and somebody else was her side dude. The key here is if she was an adulterous wife, because there's punishment coming her way. And you may just get caught up in that. It ain't worth it. The fourth woman who's beneath your level when you become the most alpha version of yourself, if one of your friends or relatives at any point can tell you how her body feels and what kind of thrills she deals, she's beneath your level. She's beneath your level. You can't be with a woman and somebody you know has already enjoyed the experience of being with her. You can't do it. And so as you become the most alpha version of yourself and put yourself in the best position to win in all of these different areas, you wouldn't dare do that. You wouldn't dare do that. Rational Logic, salute. Homie Sage had moved to Thailand 3 months ago. America's finished. And that may not be a bad move, brothers. That may not be a bad move to slide. So you got to think about the spiritual drain. You know, we're talking about, here's the thing that we got to remember. When you become the best version of yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, you have to protect that. You don't just get to be that and then just, oh man, I made it. Look at me. Oh yes, I made it. I'm so great. Nope. You have to work to maintain it. How do you maintain it? By protecting it. You don't get lean and then start eating cakes and ho-hos and dum-dums every day, because you're not protecting the result of the work that you put in. You don't build yourself up financially, then just go tricking off on frivolous things and just throwing money away and doing all these crazy things. You don't do that. Why? Because you got to protect that. You work too hard to put it there. And when it comes to your spirit, man, you got to protect it by not dealing with these types of situations, man. It's an energy thing. It's bad energy. It's negative energy, man. You can't afford to do that. UK Prince, appreciate the dime, man. Appreciate the dime. B. Ross, appreciate the fireball. Appreciate the message, BOA. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you being in the joint. It's real. It's real realism. It's real realism. Salute, man. Appreciate appreciate you being in the joint too, man. Welcome to the Green Label Gang as well. The fifth woman that you must avoid, if you know she was on the carousel from witnessing her ride. See, you can think what you want to think, but if you see it with your own eye, like say a chick you grew up with, come on, man. If you grew up with her and you know, man, that she been on the carousel, man, dog, you can't get with her. She's beneath you. She's beneath your level. She's for a regular dude who doesn't have access to better quality women. This is about quality. If you become a better quality man, of course, you naturally deserve a better quality of woman. You naturally do. You just do. The sixth woman who is beneath your level when you become the best version of yourself. She always wants to be seen and admired by other men at all times. So this ain't just a social media tycoon. This is the woman that like to go outside, scandally clad. This that woman who you got friends over. She can't stay in the back. She got to keep coming out. She want to come hang out. You got 4-5 guys over, man. Y'all in the den watching the game. She want to come in there and sit with you with all them dudes around with them little bit of shorts on. She always going at the gym at the time when it's packed with the most dudes. You can't deal with that. Anytime you're going somewhere, we're going to be a crowd of dudes, she want to roll with you. She want to get on the back of your bike with some little bit of shorts on, man, so her pones can hang out. You know what the pones is? That little black part of the butt that hang from under the shorts. She want her pones to hang out. Now, we ain't talking about if they're just somebody you just hanging with. I'm talking about, man, we talking about if you got a woman. Because here's what we talking about. If you build yourself into the best version of yourself in all these ways, you need consistent women around. You can't afford to have multiple women ripping and running through. That's why I say, man, when you hear guys talking about having a whole bunch of women, multiple women back to back to back to back, they ain't got nothing. When you got something, when you build yourself to the best version of yourself, man, when you get your money right, you cannot afford to just keep meeting all these different women and having them around. You can't. The number 7 woman that was beneath you. If her sexual experiences have already run the gamut of what's possible. I mean, if there is nothing left for her to do new with you, she is not worth the time, effort, and energy. See, as a man who is situated, you got to think about it. The more you build yourself up into the best version of yourself, you deserve a woman who has been saving herself for the man that you are. Don't get it wrong. There are women in the world who save themselves for men who become the best version of themselves. Whether it's by choice or by force, it doesn't matter. If her father or her family made her save herself, it doesn't matter. As long as she has saved herself. Because we don't know why we grind it up. What if we grind it up? What if somebody made us grind up? So you deserve a woman who has saved herself for a man like you. Not a woman who has willingly given herself to a whole bunch of less worthy men than you. Here's the thing, man. And this is a tough situation. You can meet a woman and like her a lot. But if she fits under these things on this list, you better leave her alone. Because she ain't the last woman you gonna like. But you can't let that like cause you to go against yourself and go against your best interest by allowing these things that are on this list of women who are beneath your level when you become the best version of yourself. You have to do it. So if her intimate experiences have run the gamut of what's possible, I mean, if there is nothing she hasn't done already, You can't even have that type of energy around you. That type of energy will drain you, man. Your whole life will start falling off. Your whole life will start falling off. Here's a telltale sign that you're dealing with a woman who got bad energy. You deal with her, things start falling off. That's one of the quickest signs that God gives you that you're dealing with the wrong type of woman. You deal with her, things start falling off. You got to remember. That whole thing about those intimate experiences, man, that's so real because that could represent engaging with a multitude of different partners. And what does that do for you? Drain your energy. Now, and sometimes not even drain your energy, but add energy to yours that isn't supposed to be added. You got to remember that, man. The eighth woman who is beneath your level when you build yourself to the best version of yourself, if you have to lock her away in cuffs to control her behavior, if you got to handcuff her to control her behavior, if you got to forcefully control her behavior, if you got to like threaten her with breaking up with her to control her behavior, if you have to control her behavior, then she lacks any self-control. And here's what happens with self-control. Either you have it or you don't. I say again, with self-control, either you have it or you don't. There is nobody who is absolutely out of control that suddenly gets self-control. Either you have it or you don't. And if you got to try to control her behavior, if you got to try to keep up with her and put a tracker on her car and do all of that, man. And here's the thing. Sometimes the woman ain't even doing nothing at that time. But if you look at her life and she seems like the type of woman you should have to do that to, then she's beneath your level. You got to stop trying to force a woman who's beneath your level to fit into your life. If she's beneath your level, she doesn't fit. Stop trying to make her fit. Because here's what happens. You're never going to bring her up to your level to make her fit into your life. You're going to lower yourself down where she can fit. You work too hard to build yourself up to level 10. You mean tell me you're going to go back down to level 8 so some broad can fit in your life? Tell me something, man. You a man or a mouse. You want a sugar baby or a spouse? Which one you want? So if you got to comfort or control her behavior, man, leave her alone. She's beneath you. The number 9 woman that you must avoid when you build yourself to the best version of yourself, the most alpha version of yourself, if her loving drains every drop of your energy. I'm talking about if every time you intimate with this woman, it drains every drop of your energy. That, my friend, is a succubus. That's a succubus. But you have to be careful because a patient succubus will not drain your energy every time. She's draining sometime, strategically, maybe once a week. Here's the thing. You should never be intimate with a woman who absolutely drains you. After she absolutely drains you the first time, you must flee because you can't afford for her to drain you continually. Takes a lot out of you to be drained. And man, I be hearing guys talk, man, well, that's so when a woman brag about, man, she put you to sleep. Yeah, she drained all your energy, dog. A succubus will put you to sleep, drain every drop of your energy. Boy, I'm talking about, man, listen, man, you could be hungry. Can't even eat after she drained you, man. You can't even eat. You got to wake up for a few hours later and eat. You can't have that in your life, man. If her loving drains every drop of your energy, you better flee from that succubus, man. You got to do it. The number 10 woman that you must avoid when you become the most alpha version of yourself, if she's had a multitude of abortions or even one where the pregnancy wasn't the result of some misconduct by someone else. You know what I'm saying? If she wasn't in a situation where someone take advantage of her in a way, then even an abortion under those terms, man, listen, if she has had, listen, let's just do this. If she has had any abortion that wasn't where the pregnancy wasn't a result of some misconduct by someone, she's off limits. Any, I'm talking about if she has had one, it don't matter when, because if she has had one, and this is my true belief, a woman who willingly has an abortion for any other reason is probably going to be dealing with some type of spiritual torment, some type of spiritual punishment for the rest of her life. I'm a firm believer in that. She's going to be void of a certain level of spiritual growth and spiritual astuteness just based on that. And that's a big one right there, because you'll be surprised how many times you'll meet a woman who has already had one or two. Meet a woman, so I don't ask a woman how many children she has. I ask her how many times she's been pregnant. That's what I want to know. That's my real question. And it is acceptable, man, if if the pregnancy was a result of some type of, misconduct by someone else, or some type of, some perpetrator did something. Yeah, we can roll with that one. But even with that, we don't hold that one against her. But even that woman is off limits to you. You know what I'm saying? Because if she had that type of traumatic experience that led to that, then she had to turn around and do that traumatic experience as well. That woman is off limits. So let me rephrase that. Even if she's had one, if she's had one abortion for any reason, she's off limits. To a man who's made himself the best version of himself, she's beneath you. And I ain't saying she's a bad person. I'm saying she's beneath your level. All right, number 11 woman who is beneath your level when you become the best version of yourself in all of these areas. If having the right to be as promiscuous as she wants to be, but still deserving a queen position is her MO. If she believes that her previous promiscuous behavior shouldn't be held against her, that she is still wifey material, that doesn't change her from being wifey material. Because what happens is, anyone who believes that will have no boundaries. She will have no boundaries at all when it comes to intimacy. And the energy of that will be an automatic drain to you. Like, it will defile your body. You understand what I'm saying? That will be so foul, it would defile your body, and you can't have that as a man. You don't deserve that. You deserve better than that. The number 12 woman you must avoid if you be yourself to the best version, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, is if she has another man's child but lobbies for you to step in and fill in that in-house father figure void. If she wants you to be a stepdad, you are beneath. First of all, a woman who has a child is beneath you, beneath your level, if you bring yourself to the best version of yourself. In order, man, she has to have so many incredible qualities to overlook that. Like, you know what? She has to be damn near perfect besides that for you to even consider. She has to be damn near perfect in every other aspect for you to even consider it. And you know what I mean when I say damn near perfect too. I'm talking about damn near perfect. She has to be so close to perfect that just was a mistake she made. It has to be a situation that didn't affect her at all, didn't change anything. But let's be honest, how likely are you to find that? But if a woman lobbies for you to step in and fill that in-house father figure void, then she's beneath your level when you become the best version of yourself. There's no need for a man who has put himself in the best position to be in that position. It just don't matter. You just can't do it, man. And here's the thing. This is why I say the woman is beneath your level, because you'll deal with the woman. If you spend enough time with her, all you got to do is come into contact with her, kid, and you're going to automatically start. Man, listen, you will be in that role before you even know you in it. You'll be in it before you even know you in it. Because first you'll just be, you'll just be coming around and you'll just be, but your input would be received so much that it'll cater to our innate ability, our innate propensity to want to lead the younger men. You understand what I'm saying? To want to lead younger men. Before you know it, man, you'll be in there. You'll be in that role. So if she has another man child and lobbies for that, and she tell you, well, me and my church is not a deal. We're a package deal. Yeah. But whose package is it? The number 13 woman who is beneath your level. And this should have been up top. If all she has to offer is physical intimacy, physical pleasure, if all she has to offer is physical pleasure, it's not worth it. She's beneath your level. She is beneath your level. Rational logic. Appreciate the 5 bones, man. Rash said it's good to catch a stream. Been moving out here in to Thailand. And guys, you have to check it out. Make your money here in the States and get out. Yep. A lot of guys moving like that, man. Yeah. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. If all she has to offer you is physical pleasure, it is a quick no-go. It is a no-go. Because if that's all she has to offer you, that's all she's had to offer anybody she's dated. And that means everybody she's dated, she's probably been intimate with all of those guys. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's just not something that a man. I feel like this. If you could go to another country and go to a virgin's dad and say, "Hey, I want to wife your daughter," and he looks at you and understands what you do and where you at in life, and he is tickle pink. He is ready. He believes that he should give his daughter to you. Then why would you be over here dealing with women, man, who done all kinds of things and been through all type of things and have all type of results and baggage to show for it? Why'd you do that? The number 14 woman who is beneath your level. When you build yourself to the best version of yourself in all of these areas, if she's an older or younger woman who lives a piss poor life and you offer her a home to be the woman of, if a woman lives a piss poor life, then why would you offer her a home to be the woman of? She don't know how to be the woman on no house. She don't know that. She don't know how to be the woman of a house. Like, you can't take a woman who's been struggling her whole life and put her in a position of affluence. She ain't gonna know what to do with it. She ain't gonna know what to do with it. She gonna ruin it more than she helps it. So if she's an older or younger woman who lives a piss poor life, and if you have to offer her a home to be the woman of, she's beneath your level. You got to understand. I'm not saying a woman should have a career. I'm saying a woman should come from a family who has done well. She come from a family who has done well. Because a woman who comes from a family who hasn't done well and she goes out there and create this career for herself, she's too hard around the edges. She's hardened. Certain things you're gonna get from her. So if she lives a piss poor life, man, ain't really nothing you could do with it. I really nothing you could do with it. She's just gonna be like a sugar baby. Number 15, woman who is beneath your level when you build yourself to the best version of yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. is if her mother is single. If her mother is single, all this chick knows how to be is single. I ain't even talking about grandparents, unless she grew up in the house with her grandparents the whole time. If her grandparents were married, but she lived in the house with her single mom, she's beneath your level. Ain't nothing you could do with her. But leave her alone. That's all you could do. And that's real. Like you can't get anything but a single woman mindset from a woman who grew up with a single mother. The same effect that growing up with a single mother has on young boys, it has the same effect on young girls. If her mother is single, if her mother is still single now, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You might as well hang it up. And number 16, the last woman who is beneath your level, the last woman who is beneath your level, if she has no relationship or a bad relationship with her dad, or he was a simp who her mother controlled, which is still a bad relationship with her dad. If she has a bad relationship or no relationship, honestly, a bad relationship with her dad is better than no relationship. If she has no relationship with her dad or a bad relationship with her dad, or he was a simp who her mother controlled, she has no idea how to interact with a man, how to be interacted with by a man. And she just doesn't understand that she's beneath your level. Can she possibly be told what to do or not? Yes. But as a man who is in a position to not do that, why would you do it? You understand? As a man who is in a position to have a woman who is not in that situation, why would you do it? It's kind of like turn 3 or 4 into a housewife. You can, you know what I'm saying? If you financially situated enough, a 3 or 4 will break down all that stuff she's doing and she will get on her best behavior. But what's the purpose? Just like what's the purpose in dealing with a woman who has no idea how to interact with you? You got to teach her just how to be a woman in the presence of a man. No, don't do it to yourselves. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it, and you don't deserve it. Chief Prince, Key Frost Kingdom, UK Prince. Welcome all y'all to the family, man. So we ain't gonna be in here too long, man. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to slide out of here. It ain't even late, feel late. But when you get over the roosters, like I do, man, you know, late come real quick. So here it is, brothers. We're gonna get ready to slide on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint. I really do, man. It's always something, man, and it's always a wonderful thing to be in here with you guys, man, and doing the thing that we love, man. Shout out to the homie, man. I met in the gym last night, man. Homie J rolled up on me, man. He said, man, you like a bro, you like a dude off YouTube, man. I said, yeah, man, Doc BOA. He said, man, I thought that was you over here, Doc. I just don't want to run up over here like no groupie, man. I said, nah, bro, you cool, man. We chopped it up for a minute, man. He was in there getting it. We was in there late too, man. Probably about 10 p.m. You know, we up in the gym banging, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there banging back, and homie was in there, you know, doing his hit runs, man. And, he was in there banging, man. He was in there banging. So let's get ready to slide on out of here, man. Look, man, SJ3, Famo, Brown Hornet, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. We'll be back in this joint tomorrow, man. If you haven't subscribed to the King Ray channel, man, go ahead and do that, man. We drop phenomenal content over there as well. So look, man, we're going to slide on out of here. Y'all put God first, keep grinding and growing. And remember, man, we got some good new stuff coming for y'all. Let's do a quick preview right here, man. Peace out of here, man. This one called Band Clap. Let's slide.
Wherever I lead, she follows. Make love like there's no tomorrow. Like Showtime at the Apollo. We clap for bands and bring out the Sandman. Whatever I do, she does too. When I rough too. Now we clap for bands that bring out the sad. Shawty say she wanna go wherever I take her. We break up to make her. She don't wear no makeup, blow me like a breaker. So much time in LA, like we play for Lakers. So much time in NY, like we play for Knicks. Show me toilet paper deal, cause I am the shit. She my little puppy, do whatever I say. Only way that I play, it's no way on my way. 100 on the highway, I'm a speed demon. If Shorty was in the Navy, she would be a seaman. Life has so much meaning, it seems like I'm dreaming. Never going back to broke, I stay paper scheming. Building up my legacy, being what they scared to be. Spit hot shit like boiling toilets, bank account on pregnancy. Shawty hold me down like a wrestler in submission. Freak sheets, lay the streets, Martha Stewart kitchen. Wherever I lead, she follows. Make love like there's no tomorrow. Like Showtime at the Apollo. We clap for bands and bring out the Sandman. Whatever I do, she does too. When I bust one, Shawty bust two. Her life and she had it rough too. Now we clap for bands that bring out the Sandman. Haters say they wanna show that I'm really faker than a face of makeup. First they give me fake love, then they try to take us out in private places, too spineless to face us. We wake up to bake up, then get with the shit. Dodging negativity, I'm too fucking rich. They just little puppies, so I make them fish food. Don't come on the deep end when you get in this pool. Stay away from this fool, I can be a demon. I'm the money maker, so I just bring my team in. Suckers must be dreaming, peeling powder beaming. Doing numbers like a major before all the streaming. Building up my legacy, being what they scared to be. Spit hot shit like boiling toilets, bank account on pregnancy. Shawty hold me down like a wrestler in submission. Freak sheets, lay the streets, Martha Stewart kitchen.